So I was thinking about the story about my brother Brian. You know, a lot of people know that Brian and I worked in the music industry together as part of his company, Showcase Management, of which I used to be vice president. But that's actually not how we got our start together. How we got our start together was one time when we were uh, just right into our teens. My brother talked me into going door to door with him and knocking on those doors and selling something that is called a grit newspaper. And back then, for those of you that are not familiar, because I can barely remember what grit newspaper was myself, but I remember they would put ads out, and you could call and or write in, and they would help you get set up to where you could have your own business selling, newspapers door to door. And so I watched Brian go do it, and he was a natural. He would actually just walk up to the door, knock on the door, be very friendly, and it didn't matter how they looked at him or talked to him. He just kept on with his spiel, and he was very successful with it. So he wanted me to do it, and he wanted me to try it. And I remember walking up to my first door, and before I could even knock on that door, I had all these scenarios planted out in my head about, how the person was going to reject me, how they were going to kick me off of their porch. You just never know when you're knocking on somebody's door or when you're approaching somebody, period. So I was really defeated before I began, but I learned with that and many sales jobs that I've had since then that if you don't knock on the door, nobody opens them and there's no chance of the sale. I hear a lot of people use the term when opportunity comes knocking, and I even hear speakers and even singers say, I'm going to put my stuff out there and just see what opportunities arise. And so they basically wait for the opportunity to come back to them, almost like they're waiting on opportunity to knock on their door. But I've dealt with singers, speakers, musicians, ministries, and 100% of the cases that were successful, it was because they went out and they looked for opportunities. They knocked on doors, and they didn't, worry about the rejection and worry what was going to happen. And so when you are trying to build something, whether it's a music career, whether it's to grow your church, whether it's to grow your ministry, whether it's to, be a public speaker and be out in front of people. I noticed a lot of people, now on Facebook doing motivational quotes and talking about how they want to be a speaker. And I also see a lot of, budding entrepreneurs, especially in younger generations, that want to get this new product, want to get out there, and they rely on social media only as their way to get out and seek opportunity. And I really believe in social media. It's a great thing. I also believe that you physically have to get out and meet people. So whether you're you're a singer and you want to get yourself booked, then you have to get on the phone. And I hear this being the struggle for more speakers and performers than anything else is getting on the phone and doing their own bookings, kind of selling themselves. But you have to get on the phone. You have to make that call. You have to go out and meet the owners of these venues. You have to network with the people within the recording industry if you're going to get anywhere with it. The same thing with churches. If you're trying to get more people into your churches, you have to go out and meet people. You have to invite them. You have to go out and find ways that you can be involved in the community. When they come into your church, you have to make extra effort, not overbearingly, but extra effort to greet these people and make them feel at home. You have to knock on these opportunities that you've been given so that you can grow what you're doing. And whether it's, like I said, singing or speaking, or especially if you're in a ministry and you believe that you're supposed to go out and reach people, you can't reach people unless you knock on doors. You can't reach people unless you pick up the telephone. You have to make these efforts to do that. And I know it's uncomfortable. I know rejection is painful. I've dealt with it many times. But rejection is just only one answer. And too many times we focus on rejection as being the answer. And many times you're only rejected, say, 3 out of 7 times. And you have to focus more on the times that people are willing to talk to you. And we'll go on a future video on how to meet people and how to network and some proper ways to do that that will make your rejection rates go down. But in order to get to a yes with anybody, you have to go through some no's, so you're going to get rejected. But you still have to knock on these doors, because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't knock, the door will never be opened. So instead of waiting for opportunity to come knocking on your door, you need to go out and knock on the doors of opportunity, because when you do that, you're not only going to find that people open the doors, but you're going to find that they start to refer people to you. And when you go seeking opportunity, those opportunities are going to multiply, and you're absolutely going to grow what you do. And so focus on that positive. I've written a blog about this that I'd like you to click on and read, and it goes into more detail of even how you can get more referrals from the people that you're going out to talk to in the community, or the venues that you're calling, or the radio stations that you're calling, whatever it is. That's an opportunity for what you're doing. Whatever it is that you're doing, to go knock on those doors, this will show you how to create more opportunity out of that. So until next time, as I always say, the world needs you to dream. Thank you.